Oh yeah, you know what's going on. You already know what's happening. I'm your host, Cam Silver,
I am your co-host Kyle Silver.
and welcome back to another episode of the Silver Boys Podcast.
Yes, sir.
All right, man, coming down to it, man. We're in the last four right now when
Yes, we are.
uh, when it comes to the NBA playoffs. So that is underway. That's a lot of fun right now. But before we get into that, got a couple things coming out of the NFL. So Fred Warner signs a 3-year contract extension, making him, I think, the highest paid linebacker once again. I think it's the second time that this is ever happening for him. Well deserved. Hall of
Hmm.
Famer right there. Um, this week was the spring meetings for like all the owners and everything. You know, they come together for like, new rules and things of that nature. And something that was discussed a lot was obviously the tush push,
Hmm.
if they were going to ban it or not. And they were two votes away from banning it. It was
Wow.
yeah, it was 22 to 10.
Damn. Wow.
It needed 24 votes to ban it, and it was only two votes away. I'm happy that it's not being banned. The some of the language and and when they wanted to ban it, some of the language in it was weird. So it was like you can't push or pull other players like when they have the ball. So like like when a running back is like down at the goal
Hmm.
line, the offensive lineman can't come in and just push him in.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. I think that it should be perfectly legal to to push your player because we've seen it so many times, and it's not the Philadelphia Eagles fault for just being able to execute it in the best way possible because they have a wall at offensive linemen.
Exactly.
They literally, it's a wall. It's the Great Wall of China as far as I'm concerned. So I'm glad that they didn't ban it. Yes, it's annoying. Like we all know it's coming. When it's a 4th and 1, when it's a 4th and inches, when it's goal line time, we all know it's coming. But that's what makes it great because you know it's coming and you can't stop it. That's what
Exactly.
makes greatness. You know it's coming and you still can't do nothing to stop it.
And all
I
it
can't
takes
be I can't be mad at that.
Yeah, no, and all it takes is one team to practice it enough to stop it and to
That's what I'm
stop it at
saying.
the right time.
Exactly.
That
Exactly.
that's all it takes. So I was never in favor of banning it. Like you said, we all know it's coming. Just stop it. Plain and simple. Practice it. And everyone keeps talking about all these injuries and things of that nature. No one has submitted no type of injury from this happening at
Yeah,
all.
not that I've seen
I know
from the
guys
last couple years.
I know I've seen, I think it was Chris Jones in the Super Bowl. I know his neck kind of got like, crushed a little bit, but like
Mhm.
these teams work on this stuff. It's mainly the Eagles and the Bills that are the ones that do it the most. Other than that, no one else is going to do it. But also it does help when you have like a Bills quarterback and Josh Allen, who's like a mountain of a man. And then you have Jalen Hurts, who squats over like 600 pounds. So
Mhm.
easily, so those two quarterbacks can easily do that. Other quarterbacks are not sustainable enough to carry that
Mhm.
weight. So yeah, no, I agree with them. Don't ban it. I wouldn't be surprised if we're back here next year talking about the same thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's going to be a yearly discussion topic
Yeah,
until it gets to the point where those two guys do ban it and they does get to 24. If you were this close, it probably will happen. But I mean, I hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't. It's football at the end of the day, man, and you're
right.
you're playing with the game at the end of it, in my opinion.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, just keep it an inch, and other than that, just figure out how to stop it. Everybody else, that's all.
I'm
That's all it
saying.
is.
I mean, if a guy has to keep going flying over the the line of scrimmage, so
Like the
be it. I mean,
Commanders, right?
time it, brother, time
Yeah.
it.
The NFL is introducing a Protector of the Year award, which will be given to the best offensive lineman. The winner will be decided by a panel that includes a number of former offensive line greats. So, this is awesome for the offensive linemen out there that I said this before we got on air. I don't believe that they get enough credit. When someone like Saquon Barkley wins the rushing title, we often talk about only Saquon Barkley, but in reality, we really have to give a lot of credit to the offensive line, just keeping him upright, making sure that he has the right lanes to run through. So yeah, I think this is gonna be great, and I think it's gonna be interesting to see how they really distribute this.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying. We know that the offensive linemen are at the bottom of the barrel. When it comes to when in terms of football teams, they don't get enough credit whatsoever. So, yeah, I know I'm echoing everything that you said. I think it'll be interesting to see who wins it every year. Like who are we gonna actually who are we dedicating this award to? Like being okay, you are the best offensive lineman. How are we gonna essentially come up with who is the best? Like whether it's okay, you didn't allow this many pass blocks or something like things of that nature.
Yeah,
So it'll be interesting to see who win it. I'm Somebody from Philadelphia is probably gonna win it in the first year because we know if J.C. Kelsey was there, he probably was finna at least win one or maybe who knows. I know he was just the center and whatnot, but still,
but
that's still an offensive lineman.
yeah, he was highly rated, one of the best offensive linemen like ever. So,
Exactly. So
yeah,
he definitely you could have penciled him in for like 3 4 of those. I feel like
exactly,
you feel me?
exactly. Yeah, no, I feel you on that one. Yeah, I'm very interested to see what the criteria will be. How
Mm,
is it going to be like how many sacks are allowed? Like you said, it's just like you know. With your pass
it-
blocking, like what, like
yeah.
like how are you in pass running? Is it your technique? Like is it like it's all that stuff because linemen don't really have stats like that we're like
Mhm.
deep diving into. So I think that this is also going to be something else that adds on to us for everybody to look at for like all the analysts and stuff like that to really look at.
Yeah, and also like too, you just got to think about it. If an offensive lineman allows 1 sack per game, and you giving up 18 sacks, you know what I'm saying for the
Yeah,
season,
yeah,
17 sacks for the season, you're not gonna get recognized for this award. So I think
exactly.
that's a real big like criteria that people will be looking at as well too.
Exactly. Yep. Yep. Yeah. No, the NFL season, man, is gonna be very interesting. We're only in late May right now,
I
so
know, I know, and we over here, Maddox. I'm excited already,
oh,
dude.
it's the same, man, same. Moving on to the NBA.
hmm
So when we've last talked, the Knicks were going into Game 6
hmm
of the Eastern Conference semifinals. They were able to beat the brakes off the Boston Celtics.
Say it again. Say it again. Beat
They
the
were able
what?
to beat the brakes off of the Boston Celtics out there. Everybody, yes, and they have officially moved on to the Eastern Conference Finals for what, the first time in 25 years, which is
Since
insanity.
2000, dude. We
Yeah.
ain't even have phones like that back in the day. We ain't had internet. We ain't had Zoom.
And we ain't had none of this. We ain't had
No.
none of this that you see.
I wasn't even born yet, dude.
Yeah, yeah, I was only two.
Yeah.
But yes, they're back in the Eastern Conference Finals. And they're matching up with the Pacers. And let me tell you something.
Is right.
This series is going to be as dramatic, just as game one made it out to be.
Yeah.
Knicks looked like they were going to run away with it in that fourth quarter, especially with Jalen Brunson on the bench, him sitting out with, what was it, 5 fouls at that time.
Mhm.
Yeah, and ball was moving a lot, defense was great, and then late in that fourth quarter, Aaron Nesmith just turned into Steph
Yes.
Curry slash Reggie Miller all of a sudden. I wasn't, you know what the funny thing about it was? I was mad about the collapse, but at the same time, I was not that mad because I'm sitting, I'm like, okay, this is just rare. This is just, this is just something that you just randomly see that just, it just happens.
hmm
It just happens. Sometimes you just have the hot hand.
Sometimes, yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and the Indiana Pacers did exactly what they were supposed to do. What did they do? They kept feeding it to the hot hand. But the Knicks on the other side, they kept doing the wrong thing and they kept playing him in drop coverage. Guys just slipping and falling over each other. Josh Hart. Guys just slipping and falling all over the damn place for no reason. Missed defensive assignments. There was a lot going on that everything that could go wrong for the Knicks went wrong for the Knicks. But the funny thing is though, again, it's not like they were missing a lot of shots either. They were still in step with them. It wasn't
They
like
were.
it wasn't like the Indiana Pacers just made this storming comeback and then they were playing lockdown defense. No. The Knicks were still making their shots. They're still drawing fouls. They're still getting to the line. Also, another thing, they were missing free throws. Have to. You
What
cannot
was
miss.
it, 28 or 40, something like that?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They were missing. They were missing, and it was weird because it was always either the front end free throw or the back end free throw. It was always you. I remember something that one of my old coaches used to always tell us when we were practicing our free throws. One to tie the game, two to win the game.
Exactly. and OG missing one late in the game.
Mm,
Jalen Brunson, Cat. I'm
mhm.
like,
Yes,
guys, I'm like you easily like this could have put you at least up six.
yes, yes. Also, Russ.
If you could get that two possession cushion, dude, at least you like you know what I'm saying? You don't have that much to worry about. But you allowed the Pacers to stay in the game and then you honestly the Knicks just got a taste of their own medicine in terms of fourth quarter comebacks, fourth quarter stormbacks.
Yeah, yeah,
Um they just got a taste of their own medicine and you can't be mad that Aaron Nesmith, he just so happened to just beat Steph Curry that night, the other
yeah,
night.
yeah.
I mean, shout out to Neesmith, for actually having the hot hand in the first place. 138 to 135. If those are going to be the outcomes of the games, this is going to favor the Pacers a little bit more. I think that the Knicks' legs are going to get, they're going to get tired. I think that's why they were missing a lot of free throws too. I just think that they were tired down the stretch because they're not used to playing up in this pace that the
Right,
Pacers play with.
right.
Yeah, I realize that's why we call them the Pacers nowadays, actually. um, and like a 138, 135 game favors the Pacers. If you get 70 points at half, you're favoring the Pacers. That's just my humble opinion. You're getting into a up and down game with them, like an AAU team, essentially. And I
Exactly.
don't think that that's where the Knicks shine at. I don't think that that's where the focus needs to be. They can keep up with it. That's not the problem. It's really just about just conditioning, honestly. At this point,
Yeah,
these are some of the best conditioned guys in the world, but if the Knicks could get it to like a 101, like a 101 97 type of game, like where your defense is really important and you're not just allowing these guys just to hit everything and just hit the ocean essentially.
yeah.
um
Keep
what you
going.
gonna say? Oh,
Keep
I was
going.
just gonna say, I just think that if the games continue to be like this and you can get Jalen Brunson in foul trouble, you know what I'm saying, late in the third quarter, beginning of the fourth, where he has to come out, and Knicks played great when he was out. They went on a 17 point like run, and but it was just a collapse at the end of the day, and Tyrese Halliburton just got lucky. And if he does that Reggie Miller choke again, I know he said he wasn't. I threw my phone again. I threw the phone. I threw the phone. I threw the
Nah,
phone. How you doing
I,
this in game one, bro? You ain't even do nothing yet, man.
I, I think the Knicks can keep up with this pace, and they
I
do.
think they can. You too.
And they do want to play with pace. They don't want to be a half court team. This isn't the Boston Celtics, so they do want to play with pace. It's just the Pacers play a little more erratic. Their pace is
Mm-hmm.
erratic. Knicks have to play in almost more of a structured type of pace. They don't have those type of guys that
Great way
because
to put it.
yeah, you know what I mean? Because OG can get erratic when he plays a little too fast.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes gets a little erratic. Like for example, what was it when there was 28 seconds left in the fourth quarter
Mm-hmm.
when Jalen Brunson gives OG the bounce pass underneath the basket.
Oh yeah.
Why in the world did I know the ball bounced up over there over his head, but why in the world is OG trying to lay the ball up? Why are you trying to lay the ball up, bro? You're up already. Make them foul you. Make them put you at the free throw line. You're rushing, and that
Mm-hmm.
was one thing that was a key. You're rushing. Also, going back to their defense. Defense. It was a lot of it was funny because watching their defense, it was a lot of fundamental things that
Mm-hmm.
they got out of.
And they can fix that
Yes,
very easily.
easily. Why is everybody ball watching? Josh Hart, when Andrew Nemhart had cut to the basket behind your back, you're ball watching.
Mm-hmm.
You know better not to ball watch. What is the rule? Ball you man. Ball's over there.
Mm-hmm.
You right here, your man's right here.
Mm-hmm.
Sag just enough so you can see your man, so you can see the ball.
You gotta watch both. You gotta watch both sides.
You gotta watch both sides at all times. Karl Anthony Towns. I hate the fact that they play in drop coverage. I understand why they play in drop coverage because t guys like Tyrese, guys like Nembhard, TJ McConnell, they can all get right by you. But when Aaron Neesmith has the hot hand, there's no reason for you to play drop coverage.
You shouldn't be.
That should be
He
a
should.
natural instinct at that point where it's like, okay, he just made two in a row. We got to bum rush him every single time. Double
Hmm.
him, make him pass the ball out, make him get the ball out of his hands, make somebody else beat you. I'd rather Tyrese Halliburton consistently beat you than Aaron Nesmith. Because at least I know from Tyrese Halliburton, at least I know I'm going to get this from him.
Yeah, exactly.
You feel me?
Exactly.
That and it's just the fundamental stuff. Other than that, both teams played a great game. This is just, in my opinion, from what I've seen from game one, we're just gonna watch a repeat of what happened last season. Both teams going up and down. No one's really going to be able to stop each other, and it's
Hmm.
always just going to come down to the to just a few baskets, either at the end of certain quarters, whether it's the second quarter, the third quarter, fourth quarter. It's going to come down to that type of stuff. Um, the refs did get something messed up though. They did mess up the goaltending call. There was supposed to be a goaltending, but they did
There
not
was,
call the
right?
goaltending.
There
Yeah, yeah,
was, right?
it
I
was a
knew it.
goaltending call. They were supposed to do that. There was another call. Oh,
I
on
think
Tyrese
Obi
Halliburton's
Toppin
shot.
got hit or something like that, right?
Who?
Obi
Oh
or
yeah, Obi,
somebody.
Obi, Obi had got hit on his double clutch dunk, which was
Uh-huh.
amazing, by the way. That was awesome. That I can't lie.
Yeah.
That looked so unreal, bro. That was kind of cool. But I think Tyrese Halliburton, when he had went back to the 3-point line,
Hmm.
he had picked up his dribble a little bit. And they
Oh,
didn't catch that. But I think it was because he was moving, everything was moving so fast. There
so
was
fast,
like no
yeah.
reason. There was probably no way for you to actually really catch that. But
It's amazing to see the fact that as of right now, I've seen Tyrese Halliburton essentially hit three game winners. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I
yeah,
noticed he was, if his foot wasn't on the line, KD, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
If his foot wasn't on the line, like he was about to hit a game winner again,
hmm
again
hmm
against his third team, dude, in
and
the playoffs.
yeah,
That's disgusting to me.
yeah. And that's why I
I
don't
actually got
understand.
goosebumps.
That's why I don't understand why someone like Stephen A is not labeling him a superstar because he is indeed a superstar.
I
This
don't. I'm not
this
listening to that.
this is what we ask our superstars to do, right? We say that we want our superstars to come up in the clutch, right? Name all the superstars that have come up in the clutch. The Michael Jordans, the Kobe Bryants, the LeBron James, the Steph Currys, the Kevin Durant's, the Kyrie Irvings, the Luka Doncic's. Like that's what we ask of our superstars, right? Give
Hmm.
that man his respect, man. Give the dude his flowers, bro. The dude is the dog, man. He's averaging a double double. He's out here, he's just kicking everybody's tail. He's a three-level scorer
Easily, he's a three
easily.
level scorer that wants to get and wants to facilitate and gets other people involved. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, when you're dropping 27, 20, and 12 assists, 13 assists, man, you're a bad boy.
Man,
To
you're the
me,
truth.
you are a bad boy
You're the
if you
truth.
dropping those type of numbers, dude.
Yes, yes. Give that boy.
And then you're hitting game winners over Giannis. You're going into the garden and just and and upending it
Yeah,
essentially.
yeah.
Oh man,
You're doing your best Reggie Miller impressions, and I love all of that stuff, man. It's the playoffs.
I love it too.
You gotta go
I
get it.
love how Reggie was pointing at Hallie. But I'm disgusted at the same time. I love it for the competitiveness of the sport.
Oh yeah.
But as a
Oh
Knicks
yeah.
fan, go to hell.
Yeah, no, like I said, like you said, like it's really the more I've thought about it over the whole day, the more I've like looked at it, I'm just like on both sides, they both play great games. Everybody played great games. Like think about it. Cat had 35 and 12. This is the cat that we need.
That's the cat we wanted.
That's the cat, that's the cat we want to see. Like he didn't do nothing crazy. Brunson, he had 43, but the problem was the personal fouls, but then also the seven turnovers.
Yo, the entire Pacers team had seven turnovers, and that's including the entire game plus overtime. They
Yeah,
had seven turnovers, and that's extra minutes.
yeah.
Jalen Brunson having seven turnovers himself can't happen.
Seven turnovers, and also he didn't play his usual amount of minutes either.
Yeah, he couldn't. He was in foul trouble.
Gaucho, but then also they had the game in hand for a good amount of
They
time.
did.
Especially when he went to the bench, the game was still
Mm-hmm.
in hand too.
Mm-hmm.
But shout out to Mitchell Robinson, to Deuce McBride.
Yo.
Those guys coming off the bench and lighting it up. Yeah, yeah, they did their thing. They did
Yeah.
their thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just a gut punch for the Knicks. Just come back in game two and ball out.
That's all you got to do. Ball out game two. Got
Yeah,
to get one. Got to get one on the road. That's all this means now. This is that. This genuinely is. This is a coin flip of a series.
yeah,
It really can go both ways. But I could also realistically see the Knicks winning in five. Honestly speaking,
yeah.
because they just showed it to me. They showed it to me. You know what I mean? It was
They
just a
did.
little bit of a mental collapse and a
It was
lucky shot to go in. If that's
mental.
all, if that's what it's gonna take to beat us, I bet.
It's mental collapse, and like I said, it's just the fundamental defense too. Just fundamentally stuff,
Mm-hmm.
Stop ball watching, making sure
Mm-hmm.
that you see where your man is, making sure that you box out. Um, I remember on the OB putback, I thought it was Mitchell Robinson's fault, but in reality, no, because if you look at it, Brunson was out of the screen because Brunson had went for Tyrese Halliburton shot fake. So then the next person that was supposed to go up to go get him was Mitchell Robinson. He just so happened to miss it, and Obi caught the putback and
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like it's just just fundamental stuff from the Knicks side. Good job from the Pacers to pick up on everything and to expose to expose their weaknesses.
Hmm. Yeah, shout out to them.
Thunder, Wolves. Uh, bro. Yeah, we're gonna have to have a serious conversation, and I'm glad that we still have at least like 10 minutes because we need to have a conversation. I
Yeah.
do. I'm lost, honestly. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm very, very lost. So in game one, the Thunder run away with it, 114 to 88. Julius Randle has a great game, 28 points, 8 boards. He was 5 or 6 from the three. Um, Anthony Edwards, only 18 points. He had 0 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, this
In the third quarter, the Thunder outscored the Wolves 32 to 18, and then in the fourth quarter, outscored them again 38-22.
all I could do is shake my head, Cam.
I couldn't even believe what I was watching.
Dude, they're gonna sweep the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're
They,
gonna sweep them.
I don't even want to say that because I'm like, all right, maybe
I
things
want more
might change.
basketball.
Yes, that's one part, but then also I'm like, maybe things will change in game two. No, things don't change in game two. And matter of fact, it felt and it looked like it got a little
It
worse.
got worse. It did. It
SGA, they award at, by the way, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, deservingly so, has the MVP.
my flowers, dog. Where are my
Yeah,
flowers?
yes,
Oh,
yes,
you
yes.
deserve this.
Averaging 32.7 points per game, which is the most in franchise history, 5 rebounds per game, 6.4 assists per game. Thunder has had 3 MVPs since 2000. That is the most of any franchise. So,
Wow.
for those who don't know, obviously it was Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and now SGA himself. Yeah, and right after that, he got to it. The man had 38 points and 8 assists after being awarded MVP.
That boy put on a show. He's like, all right, I got my award. He's like, now let
Now
me
I need
show
to go
out.
get the next
Let
award.
me go show out.
Now we need to go get the next award.
Exactly. He about to win Western Conference Finals MVP. He about to, and if they make it to the finals and they do win, he about to get finals. He could have three MVPs by the end of the season, dog.
Bro, that's scary.
That's disgusting.
We want to talk about one of if that actually does happen, we want to talk about one of, if not, yeah, one of the greatest seasons of all time.
He got it. He's gonna like what? Yo,
You're all NBA. You know what I
and
mean?
he's really doing this without a bona fide. Like we're talking bona fide, like the way we used to look at things as a as basketball fans. Have he doesn't even Jalen Williams is your bona fide too. It's solid. That is my guy, Jalen Williams. He puts on a show.
26 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists on game two.
And he is the catalyst for pushing that team forward is
Yeah.
really Jalen comes down to Jalen Williams. But the fact that you got Isaiah Hartenstein and you got Chet just on the back line defense and Isaiah, his little push shot, man, this little it's the most like it's the most perfect thing I've seen.
You could tell he works on it.
Yo,
That's what I love about it. You could just
you
tell he works
know,
on it.
it's
Bro,
his he got crazy touch.
he does it from the free throw line.
Yo, he got crazy touch with that left hand, dog.
He does
So,
it from the free throw line, yo. That's awesome. But also Chet Holmgren, 22 points, 4 boards.
chat man,
Like oh man, this is a
if
I'm the more I watch this team, the more I'm looking at them and I'm thinking the Timberwolves are a matchup nightmare. I'm looking at these dudes, I'm like, bro,
no,
this is the
no,
real nightmare right here. Everybody wants to call them, oh yeah, they have an AU defense, bro. let me tell you something about AAU defenses.
Lockdown,
Strap,
lockdown,
strap. We're gonna
lockdown.
put you in a box. We're gonna strap you.
Yo, I don't know what to say about this OKC team other than it's one of the best teams that I've seen because of just again pace of play, the way that they run up and down the court, and then the way SGA can facilitate. And he's a score for to me. He's a score first point guard.
Yeah, score first. Yeah,
Obviously, obviously, he's always been like that. But he's shifty. I really thought I would see more from Ant, a little bit more fight. Like obviously, Game 3 is going to be a big decider as to whether or not this series is even going to go to 6, maybe 7, or if there's a broom coming in.
right, right. Yeah,
And I hope there isn't, but the Game 3 is probably one of the biggest games in a series right now.
right. Ant did his thing in game two, 32 points, 9 boards, 6 assists. McDaniels had a good game, 22 points, 4 for 8 from three. Randall, Randall was nowhere to be found.
Sorry.
6 points, 5 boards, 5 assists, and he didn't even play in the fourth quarter.
And that's the key.
Yeah, that literally that's
No, for real.
and they've showed that formula. All they have to do is literally just take away either Ant or Randall.
That's it. All you have to do is take.
And then it's you're basically playing the I dare you game with Dante, with Nas Reed, with Nikhil Alexander Walker,
You're
Mike
fine.
Conley,
You're I'm fine letting those guys beat me.
Rudy Gobert can't even get on track because he's facing he's actually facing big men this time. You're not facing LeBron James like you did in the first round. You're
He's
not facing Draymond Green or Kevon Looney or baby rookie Quentin Post. No,
hmm
no, you are facing legit big men now.
And these boys just gave it to Jokic. They just gave it to
Yeah,
him.
they put him in hell,
They was putting that boy in a blender.
bro. It was so bad. Even Alex Caruso got in on the fun. Crazy.
Nah, I'm telling you, like genuinely speaking, I'm die hard Knicks fan. The series to see is Indiana versus OKC in the finals.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
just because of the way that they match up together.
And we've
It's
talked about
Hallie versus, yeah. Well, I know we'll talk about that more, but
yeah, no, but
oh man,
I mean, like we've talked about, we wanted, and a lot of people want to see the Knicks in Minnesota, but it's like
no,
in
I don't
reality,
think that. Yeah,
in
yeah.
reality, like we want to talk about, you want to see some basketball for real? It's more than likely going to be Indiana, OKC. That's who you're really going to want to see.
That that's
The pace of
that's game right
the
there.
pace
That's
of play,
game.
the pace of play, and everything that they have, that will be that will be a test to both teams' will right there.
Honestly, it really would. Who wants it more?
Yeah,
At the end of the day.
yeah. Shoot, last question. If there is a way for the Timberwolves to come back in this, what will be the way?
Yeah, yeah, we talked about it earlier. I need both Julius Randle. I need Anthony Edwards to both come to play. I'm tired of seeing Anthony Edwards in the corner on multiple possessions.
Mhm.
I know I've talked about this. There are so many times I see this man Ant in the corner, and then Julius Randle is picking up the ball like no. Run some actions, run some plays, bro. Julius Randle should not be isolating at the top of the key, and your best player is just in the corner.
Right.
I, I've I've seen this now too many times. First of all, and then Nas Reed got to come to play. I think he's a big factor. Because what is Rudy gonna do? Honestly,
He's not equipped for this. He's not that's the thing that's been his whole career in the playoffs. He's not equipped for the playoff game. Because
he's not.
these centers, man, they're different. And then think about it. Even if they do get out of this round, and you do end up seeing Indiana, you're gonna have to see Miles Turner,
Miles
Pascal
Turner,
Siakam,
Pascal,
Thomas Bryant, or then even if you see the Knicks, you're gonna have to see Cat. You're gonna have to see
Mitchell.
Mitchell Robinson.
They're gonna put Rudy in a blender. Rudy
Who?
not dropping. Didn't Rudy have like 30 in the first series?
Yeah, yeah.
One game. Yeah,
Against
no,
the
no,
Lakers,
and he ain't even come close to
against
again.
the Lakers, he looked like a mixture of Bill Russell and Wilt Chamberlain,
Now he looked like Kurt Rambis,
Kwame Brown. Like that.
Kwame Brown. Yo, that's good. Damn.
Hey, you
Kwame
said Kurt.
Brown.
I can't disrespect Kurt Rambis, man. He
Yo,
has a
yo,
ring too, bro. But Kwame though, man, like
that
now
is a
we on to
damn
something.
shame. That's a damn shame, dude. That's a damn shame. Nah, Cam, I'm gonna bring the broom next week, dog.
Yeah, man. If Saturday night, they got them 8:30 on ABC. If they don't come to play, man, yeah,
I think OKC's feeling themselves too much. I really, really, I think they
they're
just like
locked in.
they the new kids on the block right now,
Yeah,
and they know what's good. They know what's hot.
they're locked in defensively. They like in the regular season, statistic wise, they had arguably the greatest defensive team ever.
And yo, that's actually is the way you said it. That was funny because that's like it's the truth. First of all, active hands everywhere, always active hands, always playing passing lanes.
Yep.
They just look faster than everybody in the West. Honestly, they're just a faster team.
Yeah. Using the youth athleticism and that energy.
And hey, if it works, it works, right?
Yes, sir. You know
Yes,
it.
sir.
But that's our episode for
What
this
a
week.
good one. What a
Uh,
good one.
yes, yes. I hope you guys enjoyed just as much as we did. We will see you next week. Maybe we might have who's going on to the NBA Finals. Maybe we continue on with these series, but keep checking them out and stay tuned. And we'll be back next week.
All right. I'm your co-host Kyle Silver.
And I'm your host Cam Silver, and this is the Silver Boys.
Take it easy.